Let's make some plant-based Mexican quinoa that only uses one pot. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're making a one-pot dish, a Mexican quinoa that is so delicious. Because things may be crazy out there, but we're gonna keep it really simple, and it's gonna be delicious and nutritious. So we're gonna get started with one onion, diced. We're just gonna saute that for, 3 or 4 minutes until just to cook some of the raw out of it. And I'm not using oil in my pan, just like always. But if it starts sticking just a little bit, you can use a little bit of the vegetable broth from the recipe to de-stick it from the pan. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with our garlic. So I've got 3 cloves of garlic that are minced and 2 cups of chopped cabbage. So this is gonna amp up the nutrition level super high because you wanna get all that roughage in there. Cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable full of nutrients. And next we're gonna add in our spices. And all of our spices today are from our new partner, Essential Organics. And if you use the code PlantBasedEasy at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. So we've got 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1 teaspoon of cumin. Super easy to remember, just 1 teaspoon of each. So we're just gonna saute this just for a few minutes just to kind of soften up that cabbage a little bit. And you can use a little bit of your vegetable broth while you're cooking. Okay, now on to our other ingredients. So I've got 1 can of black beans, rinsed and drained, and 1 cup of quinoa that I've rinsed. This is not cooked, this is just raw quinoa. 1 cup of fire roasted corn, 1.5 cups of salsa, and you can use whatever salsa you like. Just check those ingredients and try to get one that doesn't have any added sugar. Then we've got 2.5 cups, or the remaining, it's actually about 2 cups left because I've used a little bit of the vegetable broth for cooking the vegetables. So it's about 2 cups left of vegetable broth. And this is a low sodium vegetable broth. And then 1 tablespoon of low sodium tamari. We're gonna get this cooking, we're gonna stir it up a little bit, and then we're gonna put the lid on and we're gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna check it and to see how that quinoa is doing. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PlantBasedEasy at checkout to save 15% off of your order. Okay, so while our quinoa is cooking, we're gonna make our sour cream. So this is a super versatile sour cream. The base is any nut or seed. So we're gonna use almonds, but you could use cashews or walnuts, and for seeds, you could use sunflower seeds, pepitas, or even hemp seeds, or hemp hearts. So this is 1/2 cup. I've got a tablespoon of lemon juice and a tablespoon of vinegar. A teaspoon of miso, and you could use a light or dark. And then 4 tablespoons of water. And we're just gonna use our NutriBullet, but you can use whatever kind of blender you have. Hopefully you've got a smaller blender like this. And if you don't, because it's not a very large amount, if you've got a larger blender, you can always use tofu even in place of the nuts. All right, there we go. And as this sits, it's gonna thicken just a little bit. So if it gets too thick, you can always add just a little bit of water and it'll be just fine. Okay, so it's ready. So I checked it at about 10 minutes, stirred it around a little bit, and then I cooked it for an additional 10 minutes. So 20 minutes altogether. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. It smells so good. And I'm gonna put a little bit of cracked pepper in there just to give it a little extra bite. And then I'm gonna let this cool for a few minutes and then I'll meet you at the table for a taste. All right, guys, let's test this out. All right, I know it smells amazing. I'm gonna put a little bit of my sour cream on there. And then I'm gonna garnish it with a little bit of fresh cilantro and a few little slices of jalapeno because I like it spicy. All right, here we go. Gotta get a little of each thing. So simple, but so delicious. You're gonna love it. All right, come back next week for another great recipe.